Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Season 4, Episode 33 of the Juco Editz podcast. Tonight I'm joined by Lane Hutchinson, TCU Infielder. Welcome to the podcast, Lane.
Thank you for having me, Aiden.
I appreciate you for coming on and really looking forward to hearing about your journey.
Absolutely. I'm excited to share.
All right, so the first thing I want to talk to you about, Lane, is talk to me about Silliman High School.
Started off there going to high school. It's a smaller school. It's at the time it was a 2A private school in the MAIS Mississippi League. Uh it was fun time there. Great community, great people who were out there in Clinton, Louisiana. Loved my time there, but me and my family had to make a decision when I was in seventh grade. So we put our house up for sale, sold our horses. My dad, he used to train them a little bit, roped and rided a little bit. So that was cool to grow up around all of that. But so he ended up putting the house up for sale, and we moved over there to Watson, Louisiana to go to Live Oak High School just so I can get a better opportunity for athletics.
So I want you to talk to me about your junior and senior year at Live Oak.
Yeah, junior and senior year. So that was a fun time at Live Oak. We had a lot of talent. A lot of those guys I grew up playing travel ball with. That was one of the reasons why I didn't choose some other schools in the area. I wanted to play with my friends, and I love playing baseball with my friends. Like I have so much fun doing that. So my junior and senior year, it was very interesting those 2 years because I wasn't really getting a whole lot of looks. I was just really trying to continue to grow as a player and as a person, and so I was really still in the development stage, not really having a lot of success at that age, but still putting in the time and the effort to get better. And I ended up having a little bit of success over there at Live Oak, but not a whole lot, I would say. I still had a lot of room to grow, but it was a great place for me to be. It was the perfect place for me. It gave me all the opportunities I needed. So that was everything my family asked for.
So then, after high school, you go to Nicholls State. Talk to me about your time there.
Yeah. Nicholls State was cool, man. It was a cool spot. Shout out to Braden Joe Bear and Ethan Leger, my two boys over there. We spent so much time together, and Colby Dufresne as well. It was like a little group that we had, and that was the best part about being at Nicholls State was those brothers that I got to meet, those lifelong friends. And so it was interesting there, though. I was younger. I wasn't as big as I needed to be to play at the Division 1 level. So I had a lot of work to do, and I put in a lot of work there. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out for me there. So I ended up quitting baseball, and I left the game, and I went to work in a water treatment facility in Baton Rouge. And then eventually we can talk about that in a second. So after that, right after I left there and I started working, COVID hit.
Yeah.
So that was like for me, it was, I'm at home on YouTube watching all the games of my friends playing, and I'm like, man, I wish I could have been there. That was the easiest thing I ever had to do was leave the game. And I just felt, a little down on myself, I would say. It felt like I disappointed my family for all the hard stuff and the sacrifices that they made. And also, I felt like I disappointed my community a little bit. So, luckily, I was able to run into a bunch of people within my community, and they were able to kind of lift me up a little bit and kind of spark that fire in me, and help me figure out what I needed to do. And I had my best friend, he was my shortstop at Live Oak, Cody Kerfossi. I talk to that dude every day. Me and him are like this, I would say. That's one of my best friends. And he played shortstop for Baton Rouge Community College. And I was working, I didn't think I was going to end up playing baseball ever again. Figured I needed to move on. And he was like, "Man, come on and play. Come play JUCO ball with us. Like our coach wants you to play for him. It's a great opportunity and you get to play with your friends. Like that's what you like to do." I was like, "Cody, you are so right, brother. Like I would definitely play another year of baseball with you. It would be an honor, man." And so that's when the Thomas Semino, the head coach at the time for BRCC, reached out to me and gave me a walk-on spot at BRCC for those 2 years.
So you go to Baton Rouge Community College, it's been 2 seasons. So it says you batted 388 in 29 games with 5 home runs and 34 RBIs. So during that time, there's some teams I want you to talk to me about playing, okay?
Okay.
So the first one during JUCO, Sanjak.
Okay, so actually, I didn't play for the first 29 games of the season, I think. I missed the first half of the season. So I really only played the back half, which was mainly
Okay.
conference games. So I didn't travel or anything like that to start off the JUCO that season. I kind of started playing more towards the back half, and luckily I was able to make the most of it, and my teammates were able to put me in a good spot to have, some big hits, some big plays, and have just fun out there on the field with my friends.
So did you potentially play against Wharton?
I think I might have played one game against Wharton
Okay.
my first year at JUCO, and then I definitely played them because we opened up a four game series or a 3 game series against them the second year I was in JUCO.
Okay,
And
yeah,
that
these games are the second year.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't play Sanjak the second year. The
Okay.
BR playing for BRCC, they tend to not really keep track of everything,
Okay.
so a lot of the stuff you would see online probably isn't accurate.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Well,
just kind of how that school, that's their lingo, I guess. So yeah. So a lot of the stuff might not be completely accurate, but I can share with what
okay.
I remember.
Okay. Louisiana State University Eunice.
Yeah, them dudes can play some ball, man. So at the time they were still playing D2 JUCO ball, so they were able to really take off in the postseason and win a lot of national championships. I'm pretty sure they just dominated that division for like a long period. And so a lot of those dudes, so I mean, when we played Delgado, Nunez, LSUE, all those dudes grew up together playing with each other, playing against each other, all on the travel teams. You know how travel ball's so big now. And so it was just friendly battles. And
Yeah.
like we all text each other after the game, like on the other team. And it's just good. I mean, some of the best JUCO baseball and some of the most fun I've ever had, just playing against your buddies, and it's just talent, so much talent, and it kind of got a little hostile at sometimes because we're all competitors and we all want to win. But man, it was those dudes are so fun to play. They always gave us a good game. We always gave them a good game. Man, that's good memories right there.
And then talk to me about playing Delgado.
Yeah, so I'd like to say Delgado's coached by Joe Sherman,
Okay.
and he's like a legend in the baseball community in the South in Louisiana. And I have the utmost respect for him. And it was very cool to play against him and how highly respected he is in the baseball community. So that was definitely an honor just to play against his program and his team. So Joe Bear and Ethan Leger, they transferred after Nicholls State and they went to Delgado.
Oh,
So
okay.
so they were like my homies, and it was so much fun playing Delgado because I get to play them,
Yeah.
and man, those games were so much fun. And I would even tell Leger and Joe, I would be like, "Hey, like this is about to happen. Like we're gonna do this on the field," and we would do it. And that was the coolest thing because we almost like would speak our success into existence. And for athletes, that's huge because
Right.
a lot of negative talk happens, and like that really affects your game, your energy, and a lot of times it can rub off on some teammates too. And so that you definitely don't want that to happen. So you just want to be so positive that, when you slap your teammate's hand, you give them some love,
Right.
that your energy kind of rubs off on him too. But playing Delgado, I mean, those dudes can play, and they beat us out of the postseason every year. So we could never get that last one in, but man, utmost respect for that program.
Okay, next one. During your time of JUCO, I want you to talk to me about Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game.
Yes, that was in the TCL. So I uh I was committed to UT Tyler at the
Okay.
time. They ended up seeing me the first 3 games when we played open up with Wharton. They were recruiting Wharton, switching shortstop, and then I ended up having a good series, and I ended up getting picked up by UT Tyler. So at the time, they hooked me up with kind of the Baton Rouge Rougarou deal. And also, the Baton Rouge Rougarou was going over some new ownership. A couple of guys locally had bought the team and trying to make it kind of more so popular since,
Yeah.
LSU's right there in Baton Rouge and it's got one of the best fan bases in college baseball. They were trying to do the same thing for the Rougarou. And so all of us local boys, we were wanting to help out, take care of our people, and help them out and try to win them in the TCL. So a lot of my JUCO friends were on that team, and my JUCO field, Pete Goldsby Field in North Baton Rouge, that is where the Baton Rouge Rougarou play too.
Okay.
So we were hitting BP on the field, and the owners were, making ideas, being creative, trying to figure out what they wanted to do to the stadium. And I was like, man, I want to play summer ball. So I went over there and I was like, hey, this is my name. Shook his hand, and a couple of days later, I was on the team. So that was cool. And just playing with my friends,
Yeah.
that's really all it's about, in the summers. And I ended up having some success there, which was awesome. I made the TCL All-Star game, which
Yeah.
was such an honor. And the amount of talent that was at that game was unreal. It was such a cool experience in Victoria, Texas. The fans feel like they're almost on top of you, which is super cool. Yeah, like you come back into the dugout, like they're spilling beer and it's on your shoulder, and you're like, really, man? And so that's cool because they really pack the crowd. And as far as the home run derby goes, it was really unexpected because we each team got to pick one player
Okay.
to kind of like, do the home run derby or whatever. And Elliot Abear, he played at McNeese too. He played at BRCC with me, one of my good friends. Still talk to him to this day. He is the power hitter, and he was the lefty. And I was like, Elliot, this is you. Like, this is your day. Like, you're gonna win the home run derby. The wind was blowing in from right field. Elliot was like, nah, man, like, you got it. You got this. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And so I ended up going out there and I ended up getting second place. Adam Becker, he beat me.
Okay.
We ended up going like swing for swing and the crowd was into it. It was cool. And ended up seeing Adam Becker later on in my life because he went to West Texas A&M and M, and he's like I think he hit a lot of home runs out there too. So it's cool, kind of like everything comes full circle. You always see the same people in the baseball
Yeah.
world.
Okay, so next you said you in 2023, in 2024 you go to UT Tyler, but before that, what was your recruitment like out of JUCO?
Nothing. I didn't get anything in JUCO, man. I got Taylor White saw me that's coach, the
Yeah.
assistant coach over there, assistant head coach now at UT Tyler. He saw me the first 3 games against Wharton and that second season in JUCO and really liked what he saw and decided to bring me on board over there. And so that was just awesome just to be over there and get that opportunity to get that scholarship and get to reach that next level. But as far as other schools, I didn't talk to any other schools. I would say Baton Rouge Community College is kind of highly overlooked
Okay.
because of the location that it's in. LSU really doesn't like to recruit out of there either. So I find that kind of interesting, being that like the JUCO's right there in
Yeah.
the city of Baton Rouge, and a lot of good talent comes in there. It might not have the best reputation, I would say, but the talent is definitely there. And it was just a good experience,
Yeah.
Good.
So let's get into 2023. So 2023 you go to UT Tyler, appeared in 48 games with 42 starts, batting 344, 8 home runs. There's some teams I want you to talk to me about playing. The first one, Oklahoma Christian.
Yeah. So I think that plays kind of, I would say it's a launch pad. I would say the ball flies pretty good out there in Oklahoma, especially when the wind's right. So that was my first weekend in Division II baseball, and I really held myself at a high level my whole life. I've
Hmm.
I've always played around good players, and so I've always held myself to a high standard. And so when I was playing Division II baseball, and I was going over there, and I was getting my first start. I really truly felt like I was there to, do what I need to do and then hit the portal and go D1.
Yeah.
And so that was the plan from the jump, from day one. I didn't get any D1 looks out of JUCO, so that was the plan, to just climb the ranks and do what I need to do to get
Yeah.
better. And so that Oklahoma Christian game was like my first opportunity, and I was like so hungry, because how much the game means to me and how much I love it. And so it was this great opportunity in front of me, and luckily my team, I think we split with them
Okay.
that weekend. So we didn't win the series, which wasn't what we wanted to, but we saw good things from our team, and I ended up hitting a couple home runs against them. I think I had two, and so that was a really like a break through the ice. I
Yeah.
opened up a new door for me. New confidence with a new team, and it was just a really good start to an opening season.
Okay, the next one that I have for you is Texas A&M Kingsville.
Okay, yeah. I don't think I played against them. Yeah. So I didn't play against Texas A&M Kingsville because they played at the they came to Tyler, didn't they?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So they came to us for the 4-game series. So I was so amped up that I'm playing, NCAA baseball, and I'm, feeling good. And Eddie Ortiz, shout out to Eddie Ortiz. He's a great guy. He was our shortstop at UT Tyler. And so these dudes from Ole Miss had did this celebration, where they jump and they like do some circle stuff with their
Yeah.
hands, and it was so cool. I think after the Louisville
Yep.
series, and so I was like, Eddie, when we win this game, we're gonna go between the legs, Euro step or something, and we're
Yeah.
gonna dunk it. Well, we ended up messing up our footwork, and we hit hands, and my thumb immediately just swells up. So I ended up missing the next 4 games. And
Oh
that was
my.
Kingsville. And that really kind of hurt me, I think, for like an All-American award or something, because I really kind of needed those numbers big time. And that was a
Mhm.
good weekend. Our team, we swept them, I'm pretty sure, that weekend.
Yep.
And a lot of our guys had success. We kind of got our confidence back. And that was a big weekend for the team, but definitely would have liked to play in those, but had the thumb going on, had it in a little sleeve, was being taken care of by Dr. Andrew Cage over there at UT Tyler. So it all worked out.
Next is Lubbock Christian.
Okay, yeah. So that's that Friday night I got my first at bat. I ended up talking my coach into getting a at bat. We were blowing him out that Friday night game. And I'm over there drinking coffee because it was so cold that weekend, so cold. And I was like, Coach, I'm ready, just joking around, but I
Yeah.
was serious.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I like to joke around a little bit, but sometimes I'm really serious, and I just come off as I'm joking. And so I was like, I'm ready, Coach. Like, let me get in that bat. And I'm, in the trainer's ear, yapping, trying to let him be like, oh yeah, he's good. Give him the thumbs up. Well, we're beating him pretty good. And coach was like, I'm gonna let you get at bat. Let's see what you got. And it was off a submarine guy. And I don't really like those sidearm guys, especially as a
Oh yeah.
right-hander. That arm, once you drop that arm angle, it gets a little tricky,
Yeah.
And luckily he wasn't throwing too hard. And, I was able to foul the ball off, trying to let it get deep, foul the ball off to the right side. And the second I did that, I knew I had him. And I ended up hitting a ball to left field, and it disappeared. Like I
Oh,
still don't know where that ball went, but I did know it was a home run. And that was a cool feeling because that was like the first time I got all of one.
yeah.
And that was a big breakthrough weekend for me too. Going because we ended up playing 3 more games, because in the Lone Star Conference you play 4-game series, not 3-game series. And I ended up having, I think that was a 4 home run, 3 or 4 home run weekend for me. But that hit was a breakthrough hit for me. So that was a big deal.
Okay, then now a team we'll get on to later in this podcast, Angelo State.
Yeah. Yeah. So we played Angelo State that year in 23, and they came to our place, and they were ranked I mean, they're always ranked top 10. It's
Yeah.
Angelo State. So I mean, I should really say top five, but uh, yeah, they had a lot of talent that year. They had Division II Pitcher of the Year, Cade Bragg,
Okay.
and um, he was throwing he almost threw a no hitter against us that
Mm.
weekend, and luckily I was able to kind of break up that no hitter. So that was cool. And now he plays pro ball. So that's really cool to see him have success. But playing those guys, man, that's the standard.
Yeah.
Right there, that's the standard of the Division II baseball and the Lone Star is Angelo State program. So to have those guys come to Tyler, it was like celebrities coming into town. And it was, we wanted to beat them. They wanted to
Yeah.
beat us. We don't like them. They don't like us, right? And so that baseball was being played, benches, we throw our dude out at the plate. We coming out that dugout a little bit, and so are they, because they're not backing down from nothing.
Yeah.
And so, that was just all around great baseball. And it was also cool to, 2 years later, I'm playing for those boys and I'm
Yeah.
on the other side of things. So that's also interesting.
So 2024, you go back to UT Tyler, starting 50 games, bat 353, 8 home runs again.
Yeah.
The first team I want you to talk to me about playing in 24, West Texas A&M.
Yeah. Okay. So that year I ended up having like a little arm hiccup.
Oh, okay.
So I slid into first base and I tweaked my shoulder. And so that was in 23.
Okay.
Okay. So that summer, I'm rehabbing pretty heavily, getting my arm back, and I I wanted to kind of hit the transfer portal. And so I had some conversations with my coaches, and that was the goal, to go back to the Division I level, but we really didn't feel like I was at the best spot I could be in. And so we decided, I'd come back for another year,
Yeah.
build up my numbers a little bit, show that my arm's good enough to, throw from any position, and that's what we ended up doing. And so the West Texas series, man, our season was on the line at that point. In 24, when we played those boys, it was almost like a must win the series, or we're not going to be in a good playoff spot. We didn't end up getting it done that weekend. We fell short to them. I think we lost 3 games. We only won one. But that place is also, I think, a launch pad.
Yeah.
So I was kind of able to have a little bit of success. My teammates put me in a good spot, by getting on base, stuff. And I ended up having a good weekend. I would say I had my first 3 home run game. That was really cool. Because the hardest part when you're hitting baseball is like if you're 3 for 3 or something, that fourth at bat, it's hard.
Yeah.
You think you have to get a hit, but I think that game was really something because I kind of before that game is a must win. A must win. The wind's howling out. It's an early Sunday game and it's game 4. And I told those boys, I was like, hey, let me talk to y'all for a second. And I was like, look, this is about to be a dogfight. I was like, the wind's blowing out. I was like, whatever happens in this game, we keep throwing punches.
Yeah.
I was like, because I mean, they had some good Division I baseball going on at the time. Like Florida had just had a very good game. A couple other teams had a good game. But I used the Florida game as I talked to them, for example. Florida never gave up. They had so
Yeah.
much swagger and confidence. And I was like, we take that to them today, we're going to beat them. But we ended up falling short. I think we lost like 18-17, but we had our opportunity at the end and we
Yeah.
almost did it. And shout out to West Texas for, winning that game because that was a dogfight. But man, that was some good baseball. That was some good baseball right there, all around.
The next one that I have for you is Arkansas Fort Smith.
Yeah, yeah. Arkansas Fort Smith, I would say they're in the Lone Star. I don't know if they're in the Lone Star anymore though. I think they
Okay.
they moved on to a closer conference. That was a good series, I would say. I'm pretty sure we swept them. Uh, yeah, that was a good series. We just kind of hit our groove. I'm pretty sure I was able to have a couple hits maybe and help my team win some of those games. But yeah, that was some good competition right there too.
UT Permian Basin.
Yeah. Are you talking about the playoff series or the four-game
Yep.
series? The
Playoff
playoff
series.
series?
Yep.
Yeah, so their leadoff hitter, Ethan Floodstrom, that was for Permian Basin. That was my roommate at Angelo. We both hit the portal when we went to Angelo. So that was cool how he eliminated me from the playoffs and get the playoff spot. And then like now we're roommates and he's like has
Yeah.
that one over me, So he always kind of let me know, but it was cool. And so the Permian Basin series, that was must win. And we weren't really playing our best, but Permian Basin was. And so when some teams get hot, it's hard to stop them.
Yeah.
And we were able to, I'm pretty sure we won one game. I think we got them on the first game, and they got us on the second game. And man, when it comes down to a dogfight with that wind out there in West Texas, you don't know what you're going to get because that wind,
Yeah.
when it picks up, it picks up. And so we were at their place, and their field is a little bit underdeveloped, I would say. So it's almost like anything can happen today.
Yeah.
Like the ball, you don't know what the ball's about to do in the air or on the ground. And with their home field advantage and with the way they were playing baseball, they just beat us. And that's just baseball. And it's tough, but we just didn't get it done. And we just had to move on after that. But that was a good series. Shout out to that team that they had and that coach. I'm pretty sure their coach now coaches for he coaches at NAI school in Florida now, and they're doing really well. So that coach obviously had the ticket to success.
Yeah. All right. Then 2025, like you said, you transferred to Angelo State.
Yeah.
Your senior year, started 56 games, batted 403, 77 hits. The first game I want you to talk to me about, Cameron.
Cameron. Okay. Uh, would you be able to say some stats from that game?
Um, Let me see.
Oh, the Cameron game. Okay, yeah, I remember. Okay, so those were the last two games of the regular season. Okay. Uh when we showed up to their field, like something had happened and they didn't let us hit BP and we had to just take like a it was such a weird schedule had happened. And I was like, okay, I know exactly what's going on here. Like they're trying to catch us in a lull game,
Yeah,
like we're number one in the nation. They're not too hot. This is their last games that they're probably ever going to play for those group of seniors. So they're about to give it their all. And it's senior day and stuff. And so it was definitely a lull game. And you know how coaches can change, stuff before the game and mess with the other team a little bit. And so they definitely were catching us right there. So shout out to Dax for pitching his butt off and helping us win that game. I'm pretty sure we won it like 1-0 or something. But we ended up sneaking by those guys. And then a big old storm came in
okay.
Oklahoma and tore down their right field wall and flooded their field. And so they canceled the last two games of the season. So it sucks for those seniors because they didn't get to play because you honestly never know when your last game is. So you
Yeah,
kind of need to kind of go about every game like it's your last because an injury can happen,
yeah,
anything can
exactly.
happen. You have no idea. And so we ended up winning the Lone Star Conference, and Tyler lost it by one game. And so Tyler was upset that we didn't play those two games against Cameron, but we didn't have a field to play on.
Yeah,
And so it we kind of got lucky, I would say, not having to play those two games, but also we would have just took care of business. But as that other team, they would definitely have wanted to see us play two those, us hold on. They wanted us to play those two games.
yeah.
But it's just kind of how it all fell out and it worked out for us in our favor. But it also made that Tyler team very angry in the Lone Star tournament and the regionals and super regionals also.
So, question for you. What was it like being the bad guy now, having to face your old team?
Yeah, man. So the hardest part, I mean, the hardest part was just leaving my friends. Like
Yeah,
I didn't really want to leave, but I had to. And the hardest part was leaving my friends and like kind of leaving that middle ground because I couldn't really speak about what the real reasons were
yeah,
to my teammates. So I just kind of had to leave it in the air. And when you leave stuff in the air, the mind starts to race. And some guys understood. and then some guys got really upset and angry.
Yeah.
And so that's just part of life, right? And
Right.
that's a hard part for a young kid too. I started becoming older at the time and handle things good, but leaving Tyler and going to Angelo State was probably the best decision I ever made. Honestly, I wish I could have done that earlier
Yeah.
because I had more success over there at Angelo. I learned a lot more. I got better at baseball, but I'm thankful for how my journey went because if it wouldn't have went the way it was, I'd never learned the values that I learned. I would never have the work ethic that I have, and I wouldn't see life the way I see it.
Hmm.
It's bigger than a game. It's gonna, baseball's baseball. You're gonna learn more about life sometimes than you do baseball. But going over there, man, to Tyler and the Angelo State uniform, it was like it was just everyone was waiting for it. I felt like it's a smaller, it's Division II baseball, so it's not so everyone kind of knows the T, I would say.
Yeah.
And so, I show up and I knew what was going on. And funny thing is the all conference awards that I had won last year, I never got them until I walked into the Tyler dugout and they're sitting on the bench. And so I was like, okay, finally got my awards. Like now we go to war, right?
Yeah.
And so we're ready for it, man. We're ready to play those guys. And they brought out their students and they got their little student section chanting and stuff. And I'm like, man, they're about to let me hear it. And like I could see like all the guys, kind of looking at me on the other side. And, I tried to be cool,
Yeah.
kind of like, subtle with it. Like, what's up, man? Like,
Yeah.
walking past the pitcher shagging, might, tap one on the leg or something, just kind of being a little joking, having fun, just playing the game of baseball. That's all we all love to do. That's why we're here playing. And so that the way that game went out, so I ended up striking out to Raleigh, who me and him we were cool teammates, and he's a very talented pitcher. He has a good slider, and I was like, man, I want the fastball. I want to hit something so hard, knowing that was a kind of an immature way to go about those couple at bats on that first game, not being so disciplined. And so they kind of, they got me right off the
Yeah.
bat. I think I struck out twice. Everyone's, the catcher's like, go sit down, dude. Like, and I'm like, okay, I got something for you. Y'all wanna play this game? We can play this game. And then so I ended up getting a hit next at bat, a little poke single through the 4 hole, like my kind of specialty, and scored 2 runs. Now I don't know what the score is. It might have been like 2-2 or 2-0 or something. I don't know. Get on second base. Had to let him know. I start grabbing my jersey and I'm like, let's go firing up my team. Well, I had to forget that I kind of forgot in that moment that, man, I'm not just firing up my team. I'm firing up these boys
Yeah,
over here
you're firing
too.
them up too.
Yeah. And so, Drew Schmidt, great player. He was their shortstop at the time. So when I'm on second base, flexing my jersey, doing all that, stuff at second base that you really shouldn't be doing, that shortstop Drew looked at me and I could see it in his eyes because I played with him last year. And I'm like, oh man, he's about to do something. And who's up to bat next inning? Drew.
Drew.
And so Drew comes up, hits a double. Now he's firing up his guys. And so they ended up winning that game. I think we had an opportunity to win it late. We needed a big hit, and I was up to bat and got a pitch. I thought it was a ball. I'm still to this day, I'm still gonna say it's a ball. But umpire thought it was a strike, rang me up. They ended the game. They got their little moment right there. And they, spiked the catcher's mask, kind of celebrated heavily, a little more heavily than they should have. But with all the emotions that were going on, you kind of expected it.
Yeah.
And so it made the rivalry even that much. It made it mean a little bit more. So that was awesome to play those guys. I have respect for that program. And it was just great. Those first 4 games, because we played them more.
Yeah.
We played them more. So those first 4 games, though, it was cool. And we ended up splitting the series 2-2. Bless you.
Oh,
So
thank you.
that was just an opportunity just to kind of get that out of the way and get it
Yeah.
out of the way early in the season because when I'm at Angelo, I'm thinking about that the whole time. I'm thinking about when I'm having to go over there and see my boys again, when I'm gonna have to play these guys. And so it was good to get that out of the way, and I learned a lot about that, a lot from it. So it was good all around.
So after that season, you decide to enter the portal. What was your recruitment like in the portal?
Oh yes. Okay, so the transfer portal was really cool. But first, I'd like to speak about some of the time that I spent at Angelo. So the coaching staff at Angelo State, shout out to Kevin Brooks, Adam Foster, and Sam Moat. Man, those dudes took me in, like, because I'm the
Yeah.
rival. And they took me in, they loved me for who I was, and they helped me grow as a person and as a player. And I love that city and that school. And it was an honor to play for that program, and the history that that program has, and the jerseys, and how much it means when you put on the jersey. So that was awesome and a great experience. And if I could have played for them again, I would have in a heartbeat. But it's always been my dream to play Division I baseball again. So I was umpiring. So after that season ended, I went to work. So I started looking for a job, and I started umpiring in the summer. Well, I got a phone call from Coach Brooks. I'm taking a nap. So he wakes me up, and I'm like, best wake up call ever. Calls me, hey man, I think they just changed the rule again. I'm pretty sure you have another year of eligibility. And I'm like, my dad, he was kind of mentioning it to me, like, hey, this might happen. A bunch of stuff's going on. No one really knows what's going on with NCAA. Well, I ended up getting my year back. And so I called the NCAA, and they're like, we can't confirm that you honestly get your year back. You have to confirm it with another school. Well, I'm like, okay, well, this is my recruiting process. So my name was already in the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name was already in the portal, so I didn't have to re-enter it or anything like that. And so the first school that contacted me was LSU. One of the coaches from over there reached out to me, and like almost the same day, or very close to the same time. It was shortly after Coach Brooks called me, right?
Yeah.
And so that was cool to kind of chat with them. And then they were supposed to kind of take a visit, some stuff, and they were waiting on the draft. And then kind of never heard back from them, which was kind of weird. And then I ended up being like, look, man, I'm gonna have to, I grew up 20 minutes away from LSU.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's an LSU fan. If you don't play for an LSU in Louisiana, you really didn't do anything. As far as it goes in the terms, in the eyes of a Louisiana person, like
Yeah.
they just, it's either LSU or die, apparently.
Yeah.
Which I get it. They got a good fan base. Shout out to them, but that's not how I went about things. And so ended up being like, hey man, I want to continue to look at some other schools. And they were like, okay, well, it's not going to work out. We're going to move on. And I'm like, perfect. Well, that gave me my clarity that I needed. And so right after that, because all the schools that I was talking to, I was telling them LSU is going to be my number one. Stay close to my family. My sister had just had a newborn baby at the time. Some of my grandparents were kind of sick a little bit, so I wanted to stay home. And Texas Tech called, so LSU was a no. Then I was looking at Tech, and then Houston texted me. Kansas texted me. And I had this buddy I was hitting with, Kay DuPont and Brennan Holt. Brennan Holt, let me tell you, he started off at LSU, went to Oklahoma State,
Yep.
South Al. Now he's at Alabama. So he kind of has a lot to advice to give about, transferring and stuff. So he was helping me and, you know, talk to these coaches. And because, I'm not a heavily recruited player. So I don't really know how to communicate or how they like to do things, how on the whole business thing.
Yeah.
So he was helping me with all of that. And I was like, man, a couple of, Big 12 schools. Well, let me go look at who's dominating the Big 12. And I saw a list of schools on there, and I was like, okay, well, what about TCU? Like, Brennan, do you got TCU's number? And he was like, no, I don't. And I'm like, man, all right then. Well, a couple days went by, and I'm like, I'm at the time I'm constantly talking about Fort Worth to my parents. Like,
Yeah.
I just love Fort Worth. Like, I've always loved it. I took a guys trip over here with some of the teammates at Tyler, and we called a rodeo out here, and that was some of the most fun we had. Best memories, at Tyler we had was probably taking that trip. And ever since I saw the city, I loved it. And I was always, talking about, hey, I'm a mom, Fort Worth this, mom, we need to go to Fort Worth. Dad, let's go catch a rodeo, all this stuff. And finally, I texted one of my guys from San Angelo who was also in the same boat as me. He got another year back of eligibility and he was trying to find a home too. And I was like, hey man, like who are the schools you've been chatting with? And he told me, and I was like, all right, all right. Hey, you got TCU's number? He was like, I do. And he sent it to me. And I was like, shout out to Ryan Free. Ryan Free, he plays at Texas Tech now. So I'm gonna see
Okay.
him later in the season. And he gave me Coach Sarlos's number. And I'm training at Live Oak still, trying to talk to some schools. I'd reached out to Ole Miss too, and they said Ole Miss said we were full at the moment, but hit up TCU. And I was like, wait, is that a sign? And I was like, all right, that might be a sign right there. So I sent a little text to Coach Sarlos and let him know that I'd love to play for him and his program and just be a part of the community here in Fort Worth and continue the college journey that I'm on, and also be able to have a little legacy for my kids maybe one day if they want to be a Horned Frog. I'd love for that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. And for so on. And he calls me. And I miss his phone call because I was on the field hitting with DuPont and Brennan.
Yeah.
And I get back my phone and coach is like, hey, he left me a voicemail like, hey, you're probably somewhere on the field, hitting right now. Call me back when you can. And I'm like, okay, he's right. I was hitting. So I was like, that's sign number two. And at the whole time at this point, like I thought I was going to commit, a week ago.
Yeah.
Right. And so my family's, they're wearing purple like every day, thinking I'm about to commit somewhere. And I'm like, all right, well, both my mom and my dad go to work and they're wearing purple. And I'm like, hey, family, like, I just made a decision. Like, I'm going to play baseball for TCU now. Me and Coach Sarlos had good conversation. I liked where it went. I liked the school. I liked the program. I love to win. I want to
Yeah.
get better at baseball. Coach Mo over here, I've always wanted to kind of play for Augie Garrido. Never really got the chance. Um, he's a legend.
Yeah.
So much respect for him and his journey and how much he had an impact on the baseball community. And so I thought my version of Augie was Coach Brooks, right? But turns out like Coach Mo coached with Augie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so now I'm like, wow, like I've always wanted to play for that legend of a coach. Now I got my version of that, right?
Yeah.
And so that to me, that's like as a baseball player, it's awesome to run in with so many coaches who have so much knowledge and they're highly respected and they've been around as much baseball as our coaches here at TCU have. So that was awesome for just a milestone life, right? Achievement right there. So I was just grateful to be a part of the Horned Frog family, and it's just dreams come true. Being how my family, you know, put our house up for sale when I was in seventh grade, and it was on the market for like 3 years, and then had to start late at Live Oak and had to be on the freshman team there because I started so late and kind of, messing up my freshman year in my mind. But, my parents gave me the opportunities, we sacrificed a lot. And to, to be here at TCU is like, man, it paid off,
Yeah.
it paid off. And, for all the kids, and JUCO players or anybody whose family, because a lot of families move for better opportunity for athletes. And
Exactly.
so like, it's worth it. I'd say it's definitely worth it because the journey that, everything, how it's all happened, you've learned so much. Not so, baseball is baseball, right? But
Right.
life is forever. Baseball is going to end one day. It's just a game. But
Exactly.
life, it's going to continue forever. So just playing baseball to learn life, and just thankful for how it all came around. But I mean, it's only God. That's the only reason why
Exactly.
I'm still playing. I mean, you look at the whole story of each school, and it makes no sense why I'm here, right? But you look at one reason, and it's our Lord and Savior. That's the
Exactly.
reason. And I've always said, like, man, there's got to be a secret hack to sports on how are these people so good? You know, you go to a major league game, you watch them hit BP, it's like, wow, right? And how do you get to that level? Well, a lot of hard work and all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, always thought there was like a little hack, and I never really found it until I would say on my first year at Tyler, and kind of getting into FCA a little bit. You know, shout out to Eddie Ortiz helping me out. You know, a lot of those guys helping me with my faith and stuff, and figuring out why all this is happening and what journey is to come. And that's the ticket, I would say, is having a strong faith, talking to the Lord, and you know, he's going to go in front of you on a flaming horse, and he's going to take care of everything that needs to be taken care of. And you just come in right behind him, and
Right.
you know, he's always with you. So that's awesome. That's the ticket for me right there. And so that took a little while to figure it out, but once you figure out what it is, you know, that's something that's going to last a lifetime, and that's just truly a blessing. Truly beautiful.
So, what was your final three before ultimately deciding on TCU?
Yeah, it was TCU number one, Texas Tech number two, Texas State number three. I
Okay.
really liked Texas State. Loved that town. Loved the culture that the school has. When I was playing for the Rougarou, we spent a week in Texas State's dorms while we
Oh,
played
okay.
some of the teams around there. So that was an awesome experience, and that's how, you know, I love to hunt. So seeing all the deer and stuff on their campus, I was like, me and my friends, you know, it's 11 o'clock at night. We got to be up in the morning for the game. We're like, nah, let's go deer watching. You know, look at all these deer out here. Yeah, so we're out there in shock, like all these deer on campus, and it was just such a cool spot, you know. And the city was cool too, and then my buddy Zay. So he played at Angelo with me as well. A lot of us got another year, and so he's pitching there
Okay.
now. So that was, you know, one of the reasons why I was up there, because I played with him before. He's my brother, my teammate. I can go to war with him any day. And then Texas Tech was up there because the head coach over there, you know, Texas Tech is kind of like or Angelo State. We call Texas Tech the mothership
Okay.
at Angelo State because they're all the same system. You
Yeah.
know, UT Tyler was a system of Texas, like the Longhorns, and then Angelo was like Texas Tech system. And so I thought, you know, that would be a good fit, you know, being how I wouldn't have to really change much. And I really liked the conversation with the coaches and stuff. And Ryan Free was going back there again. And so I was like, man, Free, we can live together. But then I kind of just chose TCU. I just my heart, you know, after I prayed about it and got peace over my decision, talked to a couple teammates out there who knew more information about these Texas schools than I do, and they all kind of guided me a little bit. I would say I had good friends, good support system to go to TCU and reach that dream.
Okay, so next thing that I have for you is what are your expectations going into 2026 and what was fall ball like?
Yeah, dude, fall ball was awesome, man. So this is like my second time doing a fall at the Division 1 level. And the first time I was a freshman, so I had a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Now I'm one of the like this is like my seventh year of college baseball. Like who plays 7 years? Not many people, right?
Right.
And so that was cool just to be looked at as an older guy and being around, you know, getting more and more opportunity to be in a brotherhood, be in a clubhouse, and just get better at baseball, play some ball. And so the fall was just, you know, these guys throw harder. You know, they're a little bit stronger. You know, Coach Zach Dakin over here, he's one of the best. So I had a lot of work to do in the fall. And so I was able to learn a lot from Coach Mo, go to battles with our pitchers. When, you know, one thing I learned from playing from Angelo State is when you have one of the best pitching staffs in the country, it makes the regular season a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily make it easier, but like when you face high quality arms consistently and you're competing, when you go out there and compete against other arms, like that level of the standard, that standard, the standard never changes.
Oh, I
So
agree.
like you got to meet the standard every time. So facing these arms, I had a little bit of catching up to do with the velocity, had to change a couple of things, kind of get started earlier, some stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just baseball. The game is never going to change, just the talent probably will a little bit. And so had a lot of learning to do, a lot of work to put in. So we had some success in the fall, but that's just half of the journey, right? That's
Right.
just preparation for the war that's coming, in the spring. That's almost like I consider the fall as like the march, as you're marching to go to battle. And so what I'm expecting for the spring, man, one thing Coach Sarlos really does a good job with us is keeping us under the microscope, right? And
Hmm.
so uh that's one thing that I really like that they said, and they put a picture up, like a big, like a microscope and then the other one. And he's like, stay under the microscope, stay under the little things. 'Cause you worry about the little things, you worry about being present, worry about what's in front of your face, everything else will come. But like this is most important, this
Yeah.
at bat that you're about to take, that's the biggest at bat of your life. You know, the next one, now that one's the biggest at bat of your life. And so I think by just as a team staying under the microscope has put us in a good spot, but we have a lot of work to do still and a lot of room to grow. But we're in a good spot and I like it. I like where we're at, and I don't want to say too much because I'm not one to be like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that this year, because you
Yeah.
never know.
Right. You
But
never know.
I can tell you one thing: we got an opportunity to compete, and we got a bunch of them, and so we're gonna go out there and we're gonna do what we do, compete, live up to the standard of frog ball, and give it our best, give it hell. So that's what we're gonna do.
All right. So next thing that I have for you is we're gonna dive into this 2026 schedule a little bit.
Yeah,
Your guys' first three games of the year: Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Oklahoma. How do you feel about that?
love it. It's what you want, right?
Right.
Wouldn't want it any other way. Playing in a major league park, come on.
Yeah.
Like that's a dream come true. Like I went to watch a Rangers game before, and
Right.
walking into that stadium is like I'm an Astros fan, by the way.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so
Plot
walking,
twist.
yeah, plot twist. So walking into that stadium, I'm like, oh yeah, these guys got a new stadium, and I was like, wow, this is truly gorgeous. Like this stadium is so pretty, so clean. I was in shock. And I thought this field looked so huge. And Corey Seager's up there, you know, hitting balls to the moon. We saw the Max Scherzer start. And that was really cool. And but I mean, just to be able to play in that stadium, set foot on that field, get those opportunities to play some of those other schools some of those other talent, that they have. They got a lot of talent over there too, but so do we.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be great baseball. It's just all around dream come true for a lot of people and just great competition that we're about to face. And, when they post those videos on Wheels, it's, they're probably going to say super exciting, must watch.
Yeah.
So that's going to be just awesome and take it day by day, moment by moment, and we'll just give it hell.
Like, for I want you to tell me like what was your welcome to JUCO story,
Oh,
your
yeah.
welcome to D2, and then your welcome to D1. I was so
Oh,
confused.
yeah.
No, the podcast isn't over, man. We still got
Okay,
time.
okay. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So welcome to D1. Welcome to D1 story was probably fouling the ball off in the cages
Okay.
or on the field, fouling the ball off, and they're them saying, go spend the rest of your time in the cages and think about how to hit.
Hmm.
Like that was my welcome to D1. And I was like, as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid, I was like, all right. Like this is my
Yeah.
welcome to D1, okay. But that's where I found the internal
Hmm.
energy from. That's where I, had to figure out how do I want to get it done? Because if someone's not going to tell me how I need to get it done, I'm gonna figure out how I need to get it done. And then my welcome to JUCO story, man, was probably just the bus rods.
Okay, yeah.
The bus rods, because we were all goofballs, man. Like just cutting up, just like I think we stopped at a gas station one time and like one dude saw some ducks crossing the street and like he went and caught one. Like that was like, hey, we're about to play a baseball game. Like that's JUCO stuff right there. Maybe some of the fields like that we played on, but I mean, if you dig deep into Pete Goldsby Field, where it's located, like that's in the cops don't even really go out there
Oh,
because
dang.
it's
Okay.
so dangerous out there. And that's where we played baseball. That's where we were told to, hey man, you want to reach the next level? Get after it. But when the sun goes down, you need to leave. Like that was my welcome to JUCO story right there. Like, hey, don't look around, man. You focus on where you're walking and
Right.
stepping or driving. That's all you need to look at. You don't need to see anything else because you might see something you don't want to see.
Yeah.
So that was definitely the welcome to JUCO for me. And welcome to Division 2 probably would have been like uh welcome to, I don't know, man, because welcome to D2, man. I would say the first game against OC was my welcome to D2 moment. Or yeah, I can say I had two moments. So one, the first game of OC, I think I struck out the first three times,
Hmm.
something like that. I think I made an error at shortstop. But then I finished. So I finished the game with a home run. And champions finish. I was always told champions finish. So for me to be able to finish that game with a little bit of success with how hard it was for me, like going, that pretty much paved the way the rest of the season was going to go for me. Just by how I faced so much adversity right off the bat. I had a bunch of pressure because a lot of people wanted me to do good.
Yeah.
And I really wasn't living up to the expectations, but I did something at the end, and then I got benched the next game,
Mm.
and then I came back and my first at bat, right when they tell me, you're playing again, got a pinch hit a home run. So now you're
Yeah.
not going to take me out the lineup again because I'm making it hard for you, right? And
Right.
so that was my welcome to D2 moment, was like finding that within yourself and then just riding that wave. And then my welcome to Division 1 moment for the TCU was probably, honestly, watching Noah Franco hit.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I think a couple balls that he hit, I was like, hey, yo, like, why are you here? How are you here?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, and then I learned a little bit more, about him, and I learned about his story and his journey, and learned how young he is. And then I'm like, oh wow, this is really cool to see this much talent, and he's a pitcher too.
Hmm.
So that
Yep.
was my welcome to D1 moment at the Power Five level, I would say, because the Southland Conference that I was in before my freshman year wasn't really at that Power Five level. It's more
Hmm.
of like a mid major and stuff. So seeing him hit, and like I think one of the first at bats or something he had the first home run of the year or something live in the fall. So seeing that like right off the bat, Team USA guy, him and Traeger, Tommy Laporte throwing 100, like seeing that, playing defense behind that, I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
I got to play with, a couple of good pitchers like Dax Date, on the mound for us at Angelo State. He's at LSU now. And so having him on the mound for, playing behind him was really cool. But also playing behind our guys is really cool because when you have somebody so dominating on the mound, like it makes it really easy to play baseball.
Yeah.
And it makes it really fun to play. And so having this much talent on TCU's team is just awesome to just see, learn from. And I also like to pick each person's brain, like I'll ask a lot of questions and stuff like that. So, you know, once I'm finished playing, I'm going to be able to share a lot of stuff that I learned here, and I'm going to get to continue the game forward, right? And
Right.
just share all this information that I learned, and just that, yeah, pretty much it right there.
All right. So the next thing I have for you is I know your thoughts on some of the topics in college, okay? The first one, what is your thoughts on NIL?
NIL, I mean, it can ruin college or it can help a guy out who, family really doesn't have a lot. So I think they're going exaggerating it, with the football and stuff. That's a little much, I think, but I don't play that sport, so I don't know enough to really give a true opinion on it. And but NIL, I think it's great.
Hmm.
I think it's great, and I think if it's used properly, it's awesome, especially for those kids, whose families, are sacrificed so much, they might not have a lot in the tank left, stuff like that. So it gets a lot of kids who wouldn't have opportunities, might get them an opportunity at a school by just paying their way. And by playing baseball at college for 7 years, I've seen so many kids quit baseball because their parents couldn't pay it no more. And they had so much talent, or they're like, man, my dad cut me off. I got to go to work now. And I'm like, dude, keep playing. But he's like, I'm not on a scholarship. So I'm like, man, that sucks. But it's just the hand that guy was dealt. But
Yeah.
NIL can change that.
All right.
And, NIL can stop people from hitting the portal too, all that stuff. So it's a great tool for college, especially since college sports are so watched and with gambling and all that now, like
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense to give the players a little bit of money.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing is thoughts on the transfer portal.
Awesome. Yeah, transfer portal is awesome, man. You know, probably some people might abuse it a little bit. Some guys probably have been to a lot of schools each year, which if I had to do my college career over, man, I'd pick one school and I'd stick there. And build with the community, build with the fans, build with the program and the school, and just ride it out for the rest of my life and live that legacy of playing there for 4 years or 5 years. But having to bounce around, you just network a little bit more. And so I think networking is huge for athletes, jobs later on in life,
Yeah.
opportunities later on in life. To me, like, hit that portal, man. Like I tell a lot of my friends, at D2, I'm like, dude, you did this last year. Like, look how many guys hit the portal from D2 and look at where they're at now. I
Yeah.
was like, there's a lot of good schools
Yeah.
looking at D2 guys. And these guys have experience, so you're going to get looks over, maybe some JUCO guys, maybe some high school guys. And so hitting the portal is just going to give you more opportunity. And at the end of the day, you just need an opportunity. Whatever you do with
Right.
that opportunity is totally up to you, but you got the opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
Extra year eligibility rule.
They needed to do it. They declined it. Like they declined it last year. So they had to give it another one. It was only fair. And so the NCAA did a good job with, you know, COVID made so much chaos,
Yeah,
but the NCAA, might have had some hiccups in some of their rulings,
I
but
agree.
they were able to fix their rulings and give those kids who maybe got declined that year, they gave it their year back, and they gave them an option, an opportunity to be like, hey, man, you want to go play D1? You got it if you want it.
Yeah.
But, so it's just good job, NCAA. Thank you.
Mhm. All right. So, out of your career, what season means the most to you and what coach means the most to you?
Kevin Brooks, Angelo State, definitely, no question about it. Just all the stuff that was going on at the time, and just being out there in the like the heart country of Texas, like out there, those people are so good. They're hardworking people. The values that they hold out there is just awesome. And you know, if you combine, he's Coach Brooks is a kind of a good challenging coach to play for in some eyes of some players, but if you accept the challenge and you fully embrace it, and then you like, man, I'm not like running from anything. I want to get better.
Yeah.
I don't want to hide. I want to get better. And he's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. And so if you just listen, and then, I'd go home in the shower and I'd be like, man, did he tell me that today? Like, what did he mean? And then I'm like thinking, I'm like, he was right. He was right. But he wanted me to think about it so long and hard that he wasn't only right in the moment, he was right when the season comes around. He was right in this next week's of work that we're about to have to go through. So like just seeing a coach that knows so much and then have so much success, and then he's literally like, hey, you listen to me, I'll get y'all where y'all want to go. And then we got there, you
Yeah.
know? And so that's just awesome to play for him, and what a legend in Division II baseball. Every year he's the first coach at Angelo State, so every year they've made a super regional. I think the program started in like 2002 or something like that. So I mean, he's the heart of Angelo State, and if that's the standard of D2, shout out Coach Kevin Brooks, man. Angelo State right there.
What is your walk-up song?
Yeah, my walk-up song this year is White Horse.
Oh yeah, by Chris Stapleton.
I really like that song. Uh, I used Freebird last year at Angelo State. I really love that. That song means a lot to me. But I was told that it's our home run song here
Okay.
at TCU. So I was like, man, I can't use that. So I had to pick
Yeah.
another one. And I had played against this player one time, and I really liked. I think he used this song before, the White Horse, and it's a very popular walk-up song, so a lot of people are going to use it.
Right.
And I remember playing against him, and I was like, "This dude is about to do some damage." And sure enough, like he'd come up and he'd do some damage. He's a very good ball player. He was an All-American at the Division II level, and so when I heard that song, I was like, I immediately thought of him and playing against him, and he kind of a lot of players motivate me, especially to keep going, keep working hard and all that stuff. I really like being motivated by people or motivating. And so White Horse, man, that just fires me up. It just fires me up. It's a good song too, but it just fires
Yeah.
me up. So I had to go with it. And I always have to ask my mom and my sister, like, hey, do y'all approve? And they gave me the thumbs up. So when I got the ladies' opinion on that, they were like, good deal. So went with it.
Sounds good. All right, so the next thing, what do you do when you're in a slump?
Oh man, yeah. Okay. So if you're in a slump, man, I just say screw it. I say screw it, man. I'm a ball. Whatever's about to happen, it's already written, and God knows what's about to happen. So why am I tripping? Why am I stressing? Like, just go back to the little things. So if I'm in a slump, one, I think about that. Two, I think I ain't in no slump. I'm a good hitter. Slumps. What is this?
Yeah.
This is just a downhill slope, and if I don't start coming up, it can get slippery.
Right.
But I'm good enough and I've played enough ball that we can get it going back in the right direction. And when it goes back in the right direction, the climax is going to be higher than it was before. So this is only making me better because, you kind of have to suffer a little bit to have some success. And so any suffering you go through, own it, embrace it, love it, cherish it, be thankful for it, because it ain't gonna rain forever. That sun gonna come out and shine. So, you know, when you get that one hit that breaks you through that slump, man, it should bring you all the confidence in the world, to continue to, get more hits. And I don't really believe in slumps, but I just really go back to the basics. Go back to how you first learned how to hit a baseball and just restart. And then you'll pick up on what maybe you're doing wrong, or a lot of times it's just a one little phrase of words said differently in like 10 different ways, and then you process it one way. The next time you hear it, you process it another, and then one day it'll just click and you'll get out of your little slump.
What's the biggest thing you noticed transitioning from D1 to JUCO to D2 back to D1.
Yeah, one, the biggest difference was the resources for
Hmm.
one. TCU's resources is pretty insane compared to all the other schools I've been to. So that was really big for me. When I was at JUCO, we didn't have anything. So that was a cool experience, I would say. But also it made me appreciate TCU even way more because like I'm not, sometimes you can quickly get spoiled and quickly take things for granted. So like that's never gonna happen because when you played some of that ball for that long, like it just becomes between the lines, right? You don't see what's all going on. So sometimes you can get caught up in the fancy stuff and all that. So that's the biggest difference. Two would be the coaching. These coaches here are really good at TCU, really freaking good. And at Angelo State, it was really good, but that was also a higher level of a D2, so that's expected. But just the coaching, as you climb the levels, the coaching is just better. And if you're lucky to get into a Division II school, that's as a high of a caliber as Angelo, like be grateful for it. But if you can go D1, that's where you're probably gonna find some little you're gonna learn more tricks, I would say, to help you get to the next level.
Next, I want you to talk to me about your testimony.
Yeah. So I ended up hearing a speech. Uh Coach T. White, when I was at UT Tyler, gave his testimony to us one time, and it really motivated me to share it with our team at Tyler. So I did. And so my testimony is I always, grew up in a Christian household. My mom was very strong religious, and she carries our family, I would say. She's, the strongest in our family religion wise, and her parents are very strong too. And so having that foundation, it never is going to leave you. The foundation is the
Right.
strongest thing you have.
Right.
And so as I was growing up, I lived in the country at Silliman, my friends wouldn't come really spend the night because you're so far out in the country and you live on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere, really. Like people don't want to get their car dirty if they live in the city, stuff like that. So, I just would spend my time hunting and stuff like that. And so those were my values. And so when I came to the city at Live Oak, I would say I kind of lost some values and I kind of got caught up in some stuff maybe, and it kind of carried over into college. And so that kind of wouldn't be ideal, but because I had that foundation built in me, I was able to continue to pray, continue to find guidance, just praying and talking with the Lord. And then I remember saying a couple prayers and you know having some emotions come, and those prayers being answered. And like I remember I was in my apartment and I was like, I talked about it earlier, like what's the ticket? Like what's the hack? And I was like, man, this has got to be the hack. It's just building a relationship with with Jesus, and just, you know, that's it. That's what you need to focus on. If you have that in you, that's all you really need, and everything else will take care of itself. But you got God, that's what you need. And so I was getting at the time to go to Tyler, Texas, right? And that's when I was really asking more questions, wanting to do more. And I met Eddie. My dad had a dream that, he was like, you're going to see this blue-eyed kid and he's going to help you with your faith. And Eddie had blue eyes and he helped me with my faith, took me under his wing. And then Robert Barden helped me, understand. Lane Epperson helped me understand more. And all these guys helped me understand more of like, what it is,
Mhm.
and stuff like that, how you want to live your life and all these things. And if you truly believe that Jesus died on the cross for your sins, that's the ticket, man. That's the
Right.
ticket right there. So, I mean, once I truly got baptized in the Brazos River, which is the hands of God,
Mm.
like I was like, man, my life changed. Like when you came out of that water, it's just different. Like I don't know, and I can't explain it. Like it's just so you gotta really do it to understand it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like it'll get you fired up too. Like like it's cool stuff. Like really and powerful stuff. And so once I did that, and I had some brothers helping me with my faith, and that I can lean on, and it's just been a journey ever since, and been trying to continue every day building that journey, right, and continue stronger, because you're never gonna you never want to lose it, but you always want to grow it. You always want
Right.
to make it stronger, because it's never going to be strong enough. And so just living that every day, and we're all going to make mistakes at times, but if we truly believe that Jesus died on the cross for our sins, and we have goodness in our heart, and we know right from wrong, but we can
Right.
just live that out and shine his light as much as we can, you're doing good.
The next thing that I have for you, Lane, you're gonna think this is hilarious. Okay.
Okay.
So being from Louisiana, alligators. Do you
Yeah.
ever wrestle any alligators or go alligator hunting?
No, it's on my bucket list though. I'd like to shoot me one, catch me one.
Okay.
The swamp people, I've hunted out there. I got a cousin who lives out there on the Bell River, so he knows all them swamp people and stuff. And alligators, it's not so much a swampy alligator as you think. You get in the water. I have a kayak, and I'll go out fishing some ponds, or river or something, and they'll follow you around on the kayak, hoping you tip it over. That's cool. That he's thinking, looking at me like I'm a meal. But like you're not about to eat me, dude. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out this water. Or we're tubing on Bell River, and we fall out, and then you see the gators sliding in, from the banks, and you're in the middle of the water, and you're like, all right, let's go, come on, boat, hurry up, but
Yeah.
they're not really as much of a problem as you think. I feel like they kind of do their own thing. They stay in their own secluded areas, and lucky enough, we got a bunch of good hunters out there in Louisiana that they do a good job of, you know, getting that alligator leather out to the world. And also if you ever get the chance, man, fried alligator is some of the best you'll ever
Ooh,
eat.
I've had alligator before.
It's really good, really
Yeah.
good. Some of my favorite as an appetizer. So yeah.
Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about, what's fishing like in Louisiana?
Oh man, some of the best hunting as well. Sportsman paradise. You know, it's got a lot of water in Louisiana. I grew up fishing out there in Golden Meadow, and Grand Isle and Venice, Louisiana, which is all south, very south. So I love, like, you got your bass fishing, because the
Yeah.
Mississippi River and all the little, old river and stuff like that. Toledo Bend, maybe you can go up to Shreveport and catch some stuff. Red River and two, but the fishing is some of the best, man. So if you really like to fish, you're gonna catch pretty much anything you want. And the cool thing about Louisiana is they call it like a cast and blast. So
Hmm.
you go out in the morning, you shoot your ducks, you get your limit of ducks, you go out in the evenings, and you catch your limit of redfish or speckled trout. You can catch some bass too. It's everything
Dang.
you can do anything you want. Catch a gator if you wanted to. Like it's all at the fingertips. But yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool spot. Sportsman paradise is what they call it. So
What about crappie?
they got them everywhere, man. So they have them little docks, like where they park up their boats, and you sink some trees. That's where they're at. But if you go into any place, like if any fishing spot has like a bar or some place where the locals hang out, you always got to talk to the locals, because
Yeah,
you got to know where to fish.
right.
Yeah. But I mean, crappie fishing is really good.
Yeah. Oh, I love crappie fishing. I'm actually next Tuesday I'm going trout fishing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where at?
So I live in Kansas, so I'm
Okay.
going right up the road. Like we have like a trout pit, and
Yeah.
I've never fished it in my life, but what happens is in the winter they stock
Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
So I'm about to go over there and have some fun.
Do you use a fly fishing rod?
Well, I use the fly or I use like the regular one sometime.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. My father, he used to build some fishing rods a little bit for some people. And so it was cool seeing all the different rods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a fly rod, I never got the hang of that, man. That stuff's hard. So if you can
Yeah.
do that and catch a fish on it, shout out to you, man. Because that
Yeah.
stuff's pretty challenging.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I seen it on like movies and stuff and shows and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've tried it before, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just stick to the old
Yeah.
pole. You just throw it out there on the water and try to go get them because trout like to put up a fight, I heard, and I've never went
Really?
trout fishing, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, maybe he pulls a little drag on you.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I love putting a fight on them. Okay, so the next thing is talk to me about the food in Louisiana.
Oh man, that's some of the best food you're ever gonna get. Talk about seasoning. Shout out to Tony's. Tony seasoning. I put that on everything. That's some good stuff. But yeah, the food's awesome. You get spoiled quick. You
Yeah.
go other places, you're gonna be wishing you had some Tonys in your pocket, I would say. Uh, but yeah, the food's awesome. It's surely a blessing to be able to live in such a state with rich culture of the South and the Cajuns out there, I got some French blood in me, so it's cool and it runs deep, I would say, out there in Louisiana. So it's awesome. And it's just a great environment, especially the people who still speak the Cajun French out there. And I mean, that's just beautiful to be around and the music and all that stuff. It's just a great spot. And the food just makes it even that much
Yeah.
better. It's just a very warm feeling, I would say.
Okay.
Very warm feeling. It's just wholesome.
Yeah. I went down to New Orleans a couple years ago when I went on my cruise, and I went to some places and I got some Louisiana food like
Yeah.
some lobster,
Hmm.
some gumbo. Yeah.
Gumbo's good. Crawfish
Yeah.
is good. Crawfish
Crawfish.
etouffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got so many good dishes, but I would say that real Cajun food, man, you got to go way south. Like once you cross Lafayette and you start heading out there, like once you start entering Acadiana, like Lafayette area, and you push further south, that's where you're gonna really get the good food. So if you ever
Mm,
take a trip out there, man, all those people are so warm and welcoming, like they'll tell you where to go. And
gotcha.
if you're ever in Lake Charles, there's a po' boy spot called Daryl's
Oh,
Po'
okay. Yeah.
Boys.
I've had po' boys before. Yeah.
Yeah, po' boys are really big in Louisiana and they're so good. But Daryl's Po' Boys in Lake Charles is the best in the state.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay, so next person that I want to talk to you about is someone that is your teammate currently at TCU, Cole Kramer.
that's my dog. I learned so much from him. He's an older guy too. He kind of took me under his wing a little bit, and it's just awesome. He's such a cool guy. He's a great teammate. He's a great leader. We all love him. He's a great ball player too.
Yeah,
Brings a lot of energy. So he's a very great person to be around, great friend to have, great brother. Glad to be able to share the field with him. And he's the reason why I like wanted to kind of do this podcast, because I saw, you gave him a little love and an opportunity
yeah,
to share his story. And I was like, man, that's awesome. And I listened to the whole thing. And I was like, this is awesome, Kramer. Like I get to learn more about you, all kinds of stuff. And so, I kind of wanted to do it too. Once you reached out, Kramer just being that leader that he is,
yeah,
he did it first, and the teammates are gonna, step up behind him and stuff like that. But that ought to tell you something about Kramer right there. It's just who he
right.
is as a person and a man and a ball player as well. So, utmost respect for that guy, man. He's the man.
Okay, so Lane, I have two last ones for you.
Okay.
So, what advice do you have for high school players, JUCO players, D2 players trying to make it to the next level like you have?
Okay. High school players. Okay, I would say hit the freaking weight room hard, but movements over maxes. So if you can follow some of the TCU people, Zach Dakin does a great job and all of his staff of posting videos on how to train and how to be a better athlete. So just literally look up all that on social media and it's at your fingertips. And so that's a great stepping stool. But high school, I mean, don't get so caught up in playing Division 1. Like a lot of these D1s, are kind of picking others, transfer portal, maybe they, other a lot of options on the table. So, it's still possible. It's not just D1 or bust.
Right.
That
Right.
doesn't really exist. It's grow, go to a place that loves you for who you are. Like that's all that matters. Go to a place that loves you for who you are as a person. Baseball is baseball, but you want to be loved, not treated like, uh just a person who's there to play.
Yeah.
I see that happen all the time in baseball. It's not, you love them for who they are, and it goes that much. When you pour something into somebody, you're gonna get something out, but you got to really love them, you know. And so that's big too. So don't go somewhere just for the clout. I would say go somewhere for where you want to be, and just get after it, and make every opportunity that you get the most of it, because you never know when that injury is going to happen, and that just, or something COVID happens, so just play every single game like it's your last. And for JUCO players, I mean, JUCO players, it's the JUCO grind. So them dudes are
Yeah.
getting after it. Yeah. Them dudes are freaking probably eating, ramen every night or something, just trying
Yeah.
to make it. And I'd live that life too. It is hard,
It was
but it
terrible.
it makes it so much more worth it when you went through something like that, and then you went through it and you learned and you developed and you grew. That's all you're really asking for, right? It's
Right.
just that growth, because no, I haven't heard of anybody who played baseball their whole life. I never heard of anyone. So at some point, it's going to end
Yeah.
sooner for other people, than some others. But we don't know when that day is. So just keep getting after it for those JUCO guys, and just enjoy your teammates, enjoy those laughs, and enjoy those trips to the gas station that you're getting snacks for practice or a drink or something. Enjoy drinking out of the hose after practice. Enjoy, looking for foul balls or picking up trash as you walk into the stadium. Like enjoy all those things, and it's gonna come out of you as you get older, and it's just gonna be nothing but goodness to come out if you just focus on the microscope,
Yeah.
the small things in JUCO. Because if you want to get to the next level, it's not just I'm gonna turn it on when I get there. No,
Right.
you gotta literally start it now.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would tell those JUCO boys. Like, if you want to be elite, you got to be elite then, because it's going to carry over to whatever level you go to. Because you're not going to change who you are. It's established in you. It's in your blood. Like that will never change. Just your environment and stuff will change. And for all those D2 guys, man, these D1s love ball players.
Yeah.
And if you're in a good conference at a good school, and I think that has a lot to do with it, is I think playing for a program that's, has a good reputation, stuff like that. I think that helps and stuff, or having some coaches who are popular in the baseball community who can help you out a little bit. That helps also. But like at the end of the day, it's just same thing. Like, who do you want to be? And it starts now, because whatever is inside of you, that's what is going to come out of you, and that's what the world's going to see, right? So
Right.
you want to create your own energy to where it's just awesome, and like you're doing what you want to do, being elite, whatever your goal is, that's what you're trying to accomplish. And if you shoot for the stars and you hit the moon, you went somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So that's all you can ask for, is just that growth, and just keep freaking working, because you never know when you're gonna get that opportunity. You never know when you're gonna get that one swing. It only takes one swing to change your whole life. One pitch, one swing in the baseball world for somebody to be like, I want that guy.
Yeah.
That's it. And so it just takes one set of eyes. So I just think for all three groups, just build a relationship with the Lord, and then let him guide you to where he wants you to be. And, you're going to fulfill your purpose, through him. and it'll just take off where you need it to take off. But if you get lost, like you got to know why you got lost and
Right.
then revert back to the foundation that you had, and then it'll get you back on the right track. Uh, yeah, there's a little passage I want to read real quick, and this
Yeah,
is
that's perfect.
a cowboy Bible my dad put in his roping bag, and he used to travel all around with it. And when I was coming to Texas, good timing for all of this because I was really searching, looking for anyway, and my family was able to give me that cowboy Bible that I keep here. I like to read it and stuff. But let me read you this, and this is something I used to read all the time before games. Just to give me a little piece. Little passages can help you. Like a great passage, uh, the little seed,
Yeah.
it's a mustard seed. That's a great passage. That's one that got us motivated before game that Robert gave it to us. But here's what I had for you. So I shared this with the team and I posted it on my social media because it's engraved in me, right? So whenever you're going through something, you can use this to kind of think about. He explained it like this. You're sitting on a horse, but you're on a bad horse, and you decide to spur him. He jumps out and you're left lying in the mud. Before God can get you back on the right track and on a good horse, he's going to get rid of the bad bronc because there's nothing for God to build on. In other words, God says, you've got to buck up. I know you're hurt and down right now. All you have to do is hang on, knowing that from this day forward, I am speaking to you. As long as you listen, I'll get you back on the right trail. If you haven't accepted Christ, do it. You've got to receive the gift being offered, Jesus Christ as your Lord. Do not let Satan discourage you. He will tell you you are not worthy, but Jesus died for sinners like you and me, and he has given us a reason to pick ourselves up out of the mud and do whatever it takes to get right with him. And so you can use that in whatever aspect of life or whatever journey that you're on and relate it to you and or anyone how it would go. And it'll give you a little motivation, maybe a little peace to just continue, keep going, keep fighting, keep throwing punches, never give up.
Yeah.
It's always little wins over little losses.
Right.
Little wins over little losses.
All right. Then the last one that I have for you tonight, Lane, is here we go. I just Okay, wait. Actually, before we go into the
Yeah.
end of this, I wanted to tell you that so back when I was in JUCO,
Yeah.
my DB coach is the DB coach at Angelo State.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Coach
Yeah,
Dale Howard.
that's pretty cool. Their football team, I think won the Lone Star Conference last year.
Yep.
Yeah, so he probably got a ring. Yeah, he's having some success over there, so that's really
Yes.
cool. Shout out
Yeah.
to the Angelo State football coaches and the football team over there. That's neat, man. What a
Yes.
small world, by the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
what a small world. Like this is how networking goes,
Yeah.
Everyone kind of knows everyone, so it's interesting.
Okay, then Lane, the last one that I have for you tonight is what four people do you know in that went JUCO in D1 that you want to see on the podcast?
What for people who played JUCO and now they have played D1 and maybe have moved on and stuff, and that I want to see their story and stuff on the podcast.
Right. Also, it could be someone that went JUCO, went D2, then's now at D1 as well.
Okay. Dax Dathe. He's my teammate. He's at LSU now, pitcher. So he's a good one. And Blake Labuda. Blake Labuda from he used to be the catcher at UT Tyler. He's really cool. He's at Texas A&M now.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, he's a really good one to have. We were teammates at Tyler together and we played against each other and now we actually played A&M this fall and I got to be at first base. He comes up to bat, he gets walked, and then I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" So that's so cool to share that moment with Blake and see him see both of us at this level now. It's just dream come true for both of us, especially the journeys that we both had. So he's a very good one as well.
And Joe Barrett.
Okay, Joe Bear and Leger, they'd be both very good ones.
Okay.
Ethan Ethan plays for the Pittsburgh Pirates now, and I'm not sure what level he's at, but I'm pretty sure he's doing pretty well.
Okay.
He played at Ole Miss too, so he has a cool story. Joe Bear started off, Nicholls, Delgado, LSU, won a national championship there, had a cool
Oh,
home run against Florida to kind of pretty much seal the deal.
yeah.
Florida ain't coming back after that hit, and especially that pimp job.
Yeah.
And he got picked up by the St. Louis Cardinals, and I'm not too sure if he's still playing.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure last I checked, he got released, but he'd be a very cool story because his dad's very popular. His dad's a great hitting coach in the North Shore area of Louisiana. He comes from a great baseball family, and he's just a good guy. And so if he's willing to do it, he has a lot to share, and all those guys do, if
Yeah.
they have the time, I know everyone has busy schedules, but if they have the time, they have a lot of valuable stuff to say, especially for anyone trying to learn. And at the end of the day, that's all you want to do is learn something.
So, you said Dax is currently at LSU?
Yeah, he's pitcher.
Perfect. Okay.
He's pitcher there. I want to say he started off at like Houston and then went to Grayson,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think.
Grayson.
And then he went to Texas Tech. And then he went to Angelo because it's a feeder school.
Yep.
And then he got another year of eligibility back, and now he's at LSU.
And then you said Blake what was it again?
Blake Labuda.
Labuda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Labuda.
Okay.
Yeah. If
He's
you if you search on my Instagram for these guys, their names and stuff, you'll
uh-huh.
be able to find them. I follow all of them, keep up with them and
Perfect.
stuff. Yeah. We're
That
all good
sounds good.
friends.
All right. Well, Lane, I really appreciate you for taking the time out of your night, and I wish you best of luck this season with TCU, man.
Thank you, Aiden. I'm glad I was able to have this conversation with you, and best of luck in the future, and best of luck in the podcast, and best of luck to your brother too, as well in his baseball journey.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Have a good night.
Thank you, brother. You too. Good night.
Good night.